Top stock pick time once again. Nick, we're not going to waste any time. We're going to start with you. You've got a shipping company to talk about.
Yeah, Star Bulk Carriers. Now, this one is not for the faint of heart. I mean, they basically ship iron ore, big commodities, coal, grains, fertilizer. Why am I attracted to it? Well, it is a ZAX 1, and it's had a tremendous shift in its earnings outlook. The outlook for this year has gone from expectations of a loss of about 16 cents a share to a gain of about 57 cents a share. So it's a big swing. Also, in terms of the company, they just did an equity offering, so they have a lot of capital, and they're kind of ready to operate. There's a couple of big investment managers that are in the company. They own about just short of 19%, so you have a couple whales in there. So the corporate situation looks constructive from that angle. The macro backdrop also looks a little bit more constructive. You've seen Baltic freight rates essentially double since early August. You have, I think, a general feeling that the emerging markets are stabilizing. We've seen growth kind of globally look better if you look at the JP Morgan Purchasing Managers Index. And then the last thing, if you look at the industry itself, there seems to be a lot of scrapping of ships going on and kind of a slowdown in the new order of ships. So kind of the supply and demand in the industry looks like it's turning more favorable for the operators. So I take those factors. There's a nice kind of basy chart. So I like the technical setup, and I run with it. But it could be a volatile one.
Yeah, they just threw the old Love Boat on the scrap heap not long ago, right? Talking about scrapping of ships. Todd, you have an executive search company.
Yeah, Korn Ferry International is the company. KFY is a ticker symbol. They're not in agriculture. They're not in shipping, which you might get from their name. But yeah, they focus primarily on executive searches. About 60% of their revenue comes from that, from senior level positions, positions with greater than $250,000 in annual compensation. They also have about 25% of the revenues from leadership consulting, and they also have a subsidiary called Future Stab. That's about 15% of the revenue. That's for more middle managers, so compensation under $250,000. But the company has been on a roll here. They've delivered 6 consecutive positive earnings surprises. They've seen strong gains in fee revenue, expanding profit margins, and that's prompted analysts to revise their estimate significantly higher over the last several months, sent it to a ZAX rank of 1, which is a strong buy rating, and you get all that at a fairly reasonable price. They trade at less than 15 times forward earnings. The industry median is at 18 times. So, very good earnings momentum here, very good valuation. Could be strong total return potential over the next 1 to 3 months.
All right, Tracy, we've saved the most interesting for last.
Yep.
You've got an agricultural company here. Pronounced Limoneira?
Yes.
Right? Lemon farmers?
They are. They're in California.
Among other things?
Yep. Lemons, avocados, oranges, some citrus. Lemon is their biggest product. But yeah, they're interesting because they're both agribusiness, but they also have kind of a side business because they own a lot of land. And they've been in business in California for about 120 years. So you can imagine back in the 1800s, it was just free land, right. And they own a lot of it. But it's not really making as much sense to grow lemons or avocados or citrus on this land now because of where it's located. They own 2 big plots of land called East 1 and 2 that are in Ventura County. And the population growth has caught up to where these plots of land are, so they're in the process of developing this land in conjunction with probably home builders, obviously. They actually haven't announced that yet, but the land has been annexed by the local city, which was the first step to being able to, build houses on it, basically.
That's interesting.
And yeah, and so they think, they've already said that they believe that they will be able to, come into agreement with the developer soon, and that they'll be building houses by 2015. And they expect about 1,500 houses on this land, which would be about 25% of all the new building going on in all of Ventura County, because there's no land left, basically. So this is a huge percentage of the company's business. They're going to see a lot of money coming in from it. It's not totally happening yet, but it will. So that's why a lot of the analysts really like this company. They have the lemon and avocado side, which actually did really well this last quarter. They had the agribusiness revenue was up 21%. And they're taking the money from that and they're going to grow the agribusiness side because, yes, we can make fun of lemons, but everybody uses them. So, they just acquired land in a cheaper part of the country in Yuma, Arizona. They just acquired a company out there that had about 1,300 acres. So that is going to be accretive to this next quarter and the next 2 quarters, actually. So the estimates are rising. We got the ZAX #1 rank. But as good as this real estate story kind of is, It's a little pricey here. It's trading around 50 times because as all this good news kept coming in, people are trying to get in ahead of this big real estate plan. But I don't know, it's a little pricey for me here, but I'm the value. You do get growth. If there is a bigger pullback in the market or in these shares, I would definitely be looking at it because I think the story is really interesting with, the housing side, plus they have the good agribusiness side.
Nick is looking like, where does she come up with these things? Thank you all for that. And don't forget, get on over to Zacks.com. If you're not there already, check out the other stock picks and stock picking strategies and other writings by these folks and other Zacks strategists. With everyone here, I'm Terry Ruffalo.